Picture this. You're booking a hotel room online, but the date picker doesn't work with your keyboard or screen reader. Frustration sets in, and you may even abandon the booking. For millions of users, that's a daily reality when digital experiences overlook accessibility. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to solve this problem step by step by building an accessible WCAG-compliant date picker in React using date-fns. You'll get hands-on guidance to create a booking form component that everyone can use, regardless of their abilities or devices. You'll discover the core accessibility standards, see how ARIA roles and keyboard interactions make a difference, and learn how to deliver a seamless experience for all users while keeping your code clean and maintainable. Mastering these skills means your projects will not only reach a wider audience, but also comply with legal and industry standards, vital for public-facing apps, enterprise solutions, or any platform that values inclusivity. If you want to stand out as a developer who builds robust, future-proof interfaces, stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe. Our channel delivers expert-level tutorials on modern web development, ensuring you stay ahead with the best practices and emerging trends. Let's make the web accessible, one component at a time. Accessibility in date pickers is much like designing a building with ramps, elevators, and clear signage, ensuring everyone can enter, navigate, and use the space regardless of their abilities. In the digital realm, booking forms are the front doors to experiences like hotel stays, flights, or appointments. If these doors are too narrow, say only accessible to those who can use a mouse and see the screen clearly, many users are left stranded outside. The Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG, provide the blueprint for making these entrances inclusive. For a date picker, this means users must be able to perceive and operate the widget regardless of whether they use a keyboard, a screen reader, or have color vision deficiencies. For example, a user who is blind may navigate a booking form using a screen reader. If the date picker only presents a visual calendar, the screen reader user will be lost. But with ARIA roles, clear labeling, and keyboard navigation, the picker becomes a tactile, audible interface, like Braille on elevator buttons, giving everyone the same access to choose a date. Moreover, accessibility is not merely about compliance, it is about equity and usability. When forms are accessible, error rates drop, completion rates rise, and businesses reach a broader audience. In the context of a React date picker, accessibility isn't an afterthought. It's the foundation upon which robust, future-proof, and user-friendly interfaces are built. Date manipulation is the engine beneath the date picker's hood, and date-fns is like a precise set of tools for tuning that engine. Unlike older monolithic libraries, date-fns is modular and immutable. Imagine you are assembling a calendar. You need to know the first day of the month, the weekdays, and handle leap years, time zones, or locale differences. Date-fns lets you import only the functions you need, such as format, add days, start of week, keeping your application lightweight and efficient. For booking forms, this modularity is essential. A hotel booking might need to prevent past dates from being selected. An event system might allow only weekends. With date-fns, you can easily check if a date is before today or format a user's selection in their local language. The immutability ensures that every operation, adding a day, subtracting a month, produces a new date object, reducing bugs, and making state management predictable in React. This toolkit also enables localization. Switching the calendar to French or Japanese takes only a different locale import. In short, date-fns brings power and precision to date pickers, enabling accessible, international, and reliable booking forms. Keyboard navigation and focus management are to accessible date pickers what tactile paving and audible signals are to urban crosswalks. They guide users safely and predictably through interaction. For someone using a keyboard or assistive technology, every step, tabbing into the input, opening the calendar, moving between days, selecting a date, and returning focus, must be logical and intuitive. Arrow keys become the user's legs. Home and end keys act as expressways to the start and end of the week. Page up and page down are like elevators, jumping between months. When the calendar dialog opens, focus should be trapped inside, preventing accidental navigation to unrelated parts of the page, just as a revolving door keeps people flowing in the intended direction. On selection or escape, focus returns to the input, maintaining orientation. Proper use of ARIA roles, combo box for the input, dialog for the calendar, grid and grid cell for dates, ensures that screen readers announce the widget's structure and current state. For example, as a user navigates with arrow keys, the screen reader can announce Tuesday, March 15th, selected, mirroring the experience of sighted users. This careful choreography of interaction and feedback transforms date pickers from static widgets into truly inclusive dynamic tools for all users. Semantic HTML and ARIA markup form the language that assistive technologies understand, much like standardized road signs guide drivers regardless of the country. In a date picker, using native elements, such as input, button, table, th, and td, provides a solid semantic foundation. The input invites users to type or trigger the calendar. Buttons for navigation and days ensure clickability and keyboard accessibility. The table and its headers convey the calendar's structure, enabling screen readers to announce, for example, column, Monday, or row, week 2. ARIA attributes enhance this foundation. Role, dialog signals a modal calendar. ARIA modal true indicates focus should not move outside. ARIA selected highlights the user's current choice. ARIA current marks today. Labeling is crucial. ARIA label or ARIA labeled by connects the input and calendar to meaningful descriptions, so users know what they're selecting. Visually hidden instructions, using CSS to hide text but keep it accessible to screen readers, act as orientation cues, explaining how to navigate and select dates. Without these semantic and ARIA layers, users relying on assistive tech would confront a maze of unlabeled controls with no sense of where they are or what to do next. But with them, the date picker becomes a clear, understandable, and welcoming interface for everyone. Testing for accessibility is akin to conducting fire drills in a building. It's the only way to ensure safety protocols actually work when needed. Automated tests using libraries like ATesting, Library, React, and AxeCore check for missing labels, improper roles, and keyboard traps much as inspectors verify exits and alarms. For a React date picker, unit tests simulate clicking and keyboard navigation. Does the calendar open on input focus? Can a user move between days with arrow keys? Is the selected date announced by screen readers? Manual testing, using screen readers like NVDA or VoiceOver and navigating solely by keyboard, exposes real-world usability gaps that automation might miss. For example, an automated test might confirm a button is focusable, but a manual test reveals confusing announcements or lost focus after closing the dialog. Integrating these tests into CI/CD pipelines, for example, using GitHub Actions, guarantees that every code change preserves accessibility, much like regular building inspections catch new hazards. This rigorous approach ensures that accessible date pickers remain robust and inclusive as features evolve, preventing regressions that could lock out users and ensuring compliance with legal and ethical standards. Comparing custom, accessible date pickers built with React and date-fns to popular alternatives is like weighing a bespoke suit against off-the-rack options. Libraries such as React Date Picker and NMUI-X Date Pickers offer convenience and feature depth, but often at the cost of accessibility, bundle size, and flexibility. Many pre-built solutions require extra configuration to meet full WCAG compliance or lack the ability to customize keyboard navigation, ARIA markup, or theming to fit unique branding requirements. Custom implementations, by contrast, allow developers to ensure every interaction, from the label on the input to the way disabled dates are announced by screen readers, meets both business needs and accessibility standards. The bundle size is leaner, since only needed date-fns utilities are imported. Internationalization is more straightforward, and performance optimizations, like virtualizing calendar grids, are easier to integrate. In regulated sectors, where legal compliance and public trust are paramount, the control and transparency of a custom, accessible date picker frequently outweigh the convenience of an off-the-shelf component. Ultimately, the choice comes down to priorities. For maximum inclusivity, user experience, and maintainability, a bespoke solution using React and date-fns is often the superior path. This is the main application file that integrates the accessible date picker component into a booking form, demonstrating its usage, state management, and accessible labeling. The component is rendered with appropriate props, including the selected date and ARIA label, and displays the selected date below the picker. This is the core date picker component, implementing an accessible WCAG-compliant date picker using React and date-fns. It includes comprehensive keyboard navigation, ARIA roles and attributes, focus management, and a calendar grid of selectable dates. Styling and additional accessibility features are also integrated. This CSS file provides the essential styling for the date picker component, ensuring clear visibility, focus indication, and visual distinction for selected, today, and disabled dates. It also includes visually hidden styles for screen reader instructions. This unit test file verifies key accessibility and usability behaviors of the date picker component, such as rendering, opening the calendar, keyboard navigation, and date selection. It uses A-testing library React for simulating user interactions. This package.json file defines the project dependencies for React, date-fns, class names, and testing libraries. It is essential for setting up the environment and ensuring all necessary packages are installed. The booking form appears with a visible note and fields for the user's name, email, and booking date. The name field is focused and filled in with Alice inclusive. Next, the email field gains focus and is completed with aliceexample.com. The booking date input is brought into view and focused. Using the keyboard, the calendar dialog is opened by pressing the arrow down key. The calendar pop-up appears, displaying the current month and dates in a grid. The user navigates to a future date by pressing the arrow right key twice, moving the focus across the date grid. Dates that are unavailable are visually marked and shown as disabled. Attempting to focus on one of these dates highlights that they are not selectable. The user then moves to an available, enabled date and selects it by pressing Enter. The selected date is now reflected in the input field and confirmed in a summary below the form. To demonstrate validation, the date field is cleared and replaced with an invalid date, 2020-0101. Navigating away from the field triggers validation, and an error message appears, indicating that the selected date is unavailable or invalid. Returning to the date input, the user reopens the calendar using the keyboard. Again, the first available, non-disabled date is focused and selected with the Enter key. The valid selection is displayed in the input and in the confirmation message. The user submits the form by clicking the Book Now button. After a short pause, a booking confirmation is displayed, along with a Book Another Date button. The page is scrolled to reveal the confirmation and the option to book again. The Book Another Date button is clicked, resetting the form and returning to the initial state, ready for a new booking. Finally, the accessibility instructions in the footer are brought into view, highlighting guidance for users on how to interact with the booking form and its accessible date picker. You now have the knowledge and tools to build an accessible, WCAG-compliant date picker in React using date-fns, a crucial step for creating inclusive booking and scheduling experiences. With a robust, modular, and thoroughly tested approach, you're not just meeting accessibility standards, you're delivering seamless usability for everyone, regardless of ability. This expertise doesn't just enhance your apps, it sets you apart as a developer who anticipates real-world needs and legal requirements. Ready to go even further? Dive into our next tutorials for advanced patterns and real-world integrations, and subscribe so you never miss out on practical techniques that will transform your React projects and accelerate your learning curve. Get the edge with actionable examples you can put to work today.